very special welcome to you this morning. Let me first of all recognize Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, our Minister of Finance, also Honorable Greta Roberts, Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Honorable Oscar George, Minister of State with responsibility for youth and sports, Mr. Billy Doctorow, President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, presidents and members of the sporting organizations represented here this morning. We are very pleased to be here today for a special handing over ceremony of subventions to sporting organizations in keeping with government's commitment to provide support for the development of sports in Dominica. We are here with the first group of recipients today, namely the Dominica Netball Association, the Dominica Basketball Association, the Dominica Cricket Association, and the Dominica Athletic Association. At this time, I would like to invite Honorable Oscar George as he presents a few remarks. Let's welcome Honorable.
Thank you. Good morning to all of you. And of course, thank you for accepting our invitation to be here this morning. I want to recognize my friend and colleague, our Minister for Finance, Honorable McIntyre, our sports coordinator, Mr. Billy Doctorow, who is the president of the DOC, and also the chairman of the National Sports Council, the respective presidents of the respective associations. We have Mr. Brendan Williams of the Athletics Association, Mr. Clement Marsley of the Cricket Association, Mr. Donny Robinson of the Basketball Association, and Ms. Colita Hamilton of the Netball Association, and of course, all the representatives of the various associations, invited guests. Good morning to all of you. I want to start by commending all our sporting associations on their consistent efforts at administering sports in Dominica, both those who are here with us today and those we'll meet very soon. We all will agree that over the last year, there has been consistent improvements in the operations of various associations, and this is very encouraging for our local sports. Sporting associations play vital roles in facilitating the systemic development of current and future athletes, especially for those who have graduated out of the school setup. So the role of sports associations are important, and we as the government continue to provide the support as required, and of course wish them well in the future. As we know, prior to every annual budget presentation in the Parliament of Dominica, the Prime Minister convenes numerous stakeholder consultations to solicit suggestions and recommendations for potential inclusion in the annual budget and or for implementation. Last year, government invited representatives of sports, youth, and culture-based organizations to a consultation hosted at the State House. One of the recommendations made by sporting organizations was for government to seek to introduce annual subventions to defer some of the costs of running the associations. This recommendation was well received by the government, so in the last year fiscal budget presentation made by the Honorable Minister of Finance, the announcement was made to provide annual subventions to sporting and cultural groups and organizations which have been in existence for more than 5 years. The amount allocated will be based on the scope and the size of the respective organization. We are here today to start implementing this policy by making subventions available to a first group of sporting associations with the main goal of assisting in the funding of local grassroots programs, stimulating sports participation, and to assist in the sports development activities and events. Today, the Dominica Athletics Association will receive a check of $30,000. The Dominica Cricket Association will receive a check of $40,000. The Dominica Netball Association and the Dominica Basketball Association will receive checks of $20,000 each. And just to be clear, what we are doing here today is just the start. There will be other associations I could think of off the top of my head: volleyball, boxing, cycling. All these associations have qualified to receive funding, and very soon we'll be providing funding to these associations. And just to go further, the policy also made mention of cultural groups, and we'll be also giving a number of cultural groups around Dominica some support in the coming months. So from a government standpoint, we are happy to implement this measure, as we believe that it will put the respective associations in a much better place to be able to administer sports at the local level. Our hope is that these subventions will allow the associations the ability to implement more targeted grassroots initiatives, strengthen certain aspects of the local leagues, focus more on talent identification, and better prepare athletes for local competitions. These are all consistent with the vision for sports by the government, and I'm happy to see the implementation of this policy. But even beyond implementing this progressive measure, we are also here to further strengthen our commitment to sports and government's relationship with the sporting associations. We see this relationship as critical for the advancement of sports, especially in this new era. As we know, sports is much more than games played on fields, courts, and tracks. They are vital parts of our social fabric and foundational to a healthy, prosperous, and united society. Sports can open doors for our young people, doors that can lead to self-advancement, discipline, leadership, recognition, and national pride. And this is the understanding of our government. And this is why the government is undertaking so many investments in sports at this current time, even while the world is going through a very difficult time. Investments that are in the millions of dollars across Dominica, and we're very happy to be able to do this. Our continued call to our sporting organizations and all citizens, for that matter, is to make better use of the investments to provide performance, to improve performance and potential. And for example, we have Basketball Association here with us today. Our humble suggestion is to make greater use of the numerous hard courts that have been upgraded around Dominica. And the goal is to introduce basketball to all angles, all crannies of Dominica. In a sense, we want to decentralize the sport of basketball. There are many communities around Dominica who don't really play much basketball. And we see investments in these facilities around Dominica as a way to introduce basketball to different communities. And of course, we also advise that we strengthen the relationship between the association and the sports division to implement our youth leagues. The Cricket Association, for example, is also here with us. And as you may know, the association will be the main beneficiary, or one of the main beneficiaries of the upgrades being done at the Windsor Park. And we must ensure that we use this facility for the betterment of young cricketers, both current and future cricketers. And we have, for instance, the Dominica Cricket Academy, which is one of the premier development programs for young cricketers. And we want to see that program expand in the future to be able to attract more young cricketers and, of course, offer new services to our young players. And very recently, we facilitated a contribution of $67,000 to the Cricket Academy, all in an effort to improve the operations at the facility. And we have the commitment for another $67,000 in the upcoming months. But cricket on a whole, we believe that in order to boost our leagues, we have to start looking at ways to reintroduce cricket pitches around Dominica. I believe that there are a number of areas around Dominica where there was once a cricket pitch, but nowadays it seems to have disappeared. And I think that greatly impacts the access to cricket in Dominica. So it's something we will look to work together with the Cricket Association to ensure that we can make that a reality. The Athletics Association is also here with us this morning. We are partnering with the Athletics Association to develop our first ever synthetic track. Just yesterday, I signed this endorsement form to move ahead with this project. I believe that was the final outstanding documentation required for us to move ahead. And I believe we're just waiting on our partners, Mondo and World Athletics, to finalize a date to conduct a visit to Dominica, and of course we are looking forward to that. As you know, the government have signed an agreement with Patriots Limited to develop a master plan for the area that have been advancing very well. We have concept designs, which we have shared with World Athletics and Mondo, and of course they're moving ahead with this. But besides the facility, the government normally assists in events such as Carifta, and of course, a matter of fact, we'll be providing support this year again to help our athletes go to Carifta. And I want to take the opportunity to wish the team well as they go out to represent us in Trinidad. Grenada, to over the Easter weekend, I believe. But our vision for athletics is to ensure that we can be in a position to host Carifta in a few years' time. And that is why we're so vigorously moving ahead with the plans for the synthetic track. Albeit we don't have much time, but we have to do what is necessary to ensure that this facility is done and completed. And netball is also here, finally. And just to say that netball is the most popular female sport in Dominica. You know, it's a sport that's very popular, I must say, especially at the school level. And I think it's important to expand access to netball. And of course, again, we have to ensure that we create or enhance the relationship between the association and the sports division to ensure that more young persons can have access to netball. But overall, our greatest concern many times is that athletes only are exposed to training when they prepare for competitions. And I believe that is one of the threats to sports in Dominica. We have to do better in terms of ensuring that we can have all year-round participation and practice and preparation. We can't only prepare our athletes when there's an upcoming competition. And I think, you know, we will meet after this ceremony to have a discussion as to how we can have more systems in place to ensure that our athletes have exposure to more preparation and more practice all year round, for that matter. The final thing I want to say this morning is that there has to be some level of accountability and transparency of funds received, regardless of the size. So to achieve this, the ministry have drafted guidelines that all associations will have to abide by, and this will be important if we have to consider you for the next round of subventions. At minimum, the association will have to submit a report outlining the extent to which the funds received were used on the purpose for which it was given. Without this report and corresponding documentation, funding will not be considered in the future, right? And to achieve this, we will work alongside the DOC and the Sports Council to ensure that there's proper accountability for the funds that the government is entrusted to the associations. And we have to ensure that we can do better when it comes to accountability and transparency. It's not only government that have to be accountable. We all have to play a part in being accountable. And to end, I just want to express my sincere gratitude, firstly to the Honorable Prime Minister for his leadership, his policy direction, and importantly, his consistent efforts to further enhance sports development on Island. I want to thank also our Minister of Finance for articulating this initiative in Parliament. And of course, I want to thank the Lotteries Commission for making the funds available in furtherance of government's policy for sports and sports development. But really, I'm really happy for all the associations. And of course, as I said earlier, we'll have a more detailed engagement with the associations. I just want to say that there are many ways we can have a good relationship with sporting associations. It doesn't always have to be financial. There are many non-financial ways that the government can support the associations, especially when they prepare for competitions and when they host local leagues. So we want to be in a position where we can enhance our relationship, all in the betterment for sports. So I wish all the associations well as we work towards providing more opportunities for young people for sports. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much to Honorable Oscar George. And Honorable George has outlined to us some of the ongoing work of the government of Dominica in the sports sector. and has also provided some very useful advice to the sporting organizations here today. At this time, we would like to move on to the presentation of checks to the associations, and as we call you up, we will invite Honorable Greta Roberts to do the handing over. At the end of the presentation, we invite the representatives, the presidents who are here, to provide some brief comments, if you wish, before we close up. So we'll start. Okay, we will start with the Dominica Netball Association. Well, ladies first. Ms. Colita Hamilton, on behalf of the Dominica Netball Association. And the Dominica Netball Association is receiving $20,000. Okay. Okay, then Mr. Donnie Robinson for the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association. The Dominica Basketball Association is also receiving $20,000. Mr. Brandon Williams for the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association. And the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association is receiving an annual subvention today of $30,000. And finally, Mr. Clement Marsland, President of the Dominica Cricket Association, who is getting the largest chunk of the pie. And the Dominica Cricket Association is receiving an amount of $40,000. Thank you very much, Honorable Roberts. I will invite Ms. Hamilton.
Good morning to everyone. I would like to recognize the presence of the Minister for Finance, Honorable Irving McIntyre, the Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Greta Roberts, and Honorable Oscar John, Cabinet Secretary, Sports Coordinator, members of the media, and my fellow presidents of the associations. On behalf of the Netball Association, I would like to express my gratitude to the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica through the Ministry of Sport for this initiative. It will help us to go, it will go a long way in strengthening our programs and preparing our athletes. I also would like to echo the sentiments of the Minister in the fact that we should deepen our relationship with this sports division and the Ministry of Sport, and that is something which I enjoy myself, a very good relationship between them. And in closing, I would like to encourage my fellow association presidents, to whom much is given, much is required, and so in the terms of better governance and financial management, I'm hoping that we will put to good use this money and to keep a good thing going. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, and we hope to see more netball in the communities. We will soon be reaching out to you for our public service netball tournament coming soon. Okay, let's now call on Mr. Donnie Robinson on behalf of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association.
Good morning, everyone. I think it's still morning. I think protocol has been established, but I still want to recognize the presence of the Finance Minister, Dr. McIntyre, our sports ministers, Mr. Roberts and Mr. George, fellow colleagues, Mr. Billy Doctor of DOC, and media and invited guests. I don't think we can say enough thank you on behalf of basketball for this subvention. I think it's something that sports in general has been craving for, and I'm just really thankful to the government of Dominica and by extension obviously the Ministry of Sports for seeing this through, because there have been a lot of back and forth about this in the making for a while. But generally I think from a basketball standpoint we have a lot of work to do. This is a good start. By no means it's going to be hit and run, and we take it. We expect that to be a recurring event, and we definitely pledge to be able to demonstrate how these monies can be put to use and how the value that it brings cannot be ultimately measured. We have to understand that voluntary associations like ours take a lot, but like Ms. Hamilton said, to who anything is given, a lot is expected. So we pledge to be able to do that and to make sure that we continue to develop the sport, especially at the grassroots level. That's where we suffer the most. Building the relationship with communities, bringing the sport back to where it actually started, which is in the villages and in the schools. When we have to continue to work together with the sports division and all stakeholders of sports. I must say it is not just an association event. A lot of it has to do with the communities. But the challenges we face really is the size of those voluntary associations. That's one of the challenges, and we hope to be able to do that by extending subcommittees to the villages and the various places, especially those that have the facilities already in place. So we do recognize that a lot have been done in terms of basketball facilities around the island, but the challenge is to get people out playing, and that's where we hope that part of this funding is going to make a bigger impact. So again, thank you very much, and we look forward to continued support, and we pledge to do the best we can with these funds. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Brandon Williams, Dominica Amateur Athletics Association.
Like him prepared. So since the protocol has already been established, I still want to go over and say to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, the Minister of Sports, Honorable Greta Roberts, Honorable Oscar George, Cabinet Secretary, also my good colleague, Mr. Billy Doctor, President of the Dominica Olympic Committee, the Sports Coordinator, Mr. Trevor Shillingford. I think most persons forgot where we get the money from, Dominica National Lotteries, so let me make sure I dig them up so I can get some more from Blast. But on behalf of the Dominica Athletics Association, I extend sincere gratitude to the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica for this timely and meaningful intervention in the development of sport in our beloved country. Today's commitment to providing financial subventions to national sporting associations represents more than financial support. It represents confidence in the systems that nurture our athletes and in the people who dedicate themselves to developing them. For many years, many years, the national sporting bodies have advocated for sustained investment in the development structures that support youth sport. This initiative signals those calls have been heard, and I'd like to give a round of applause to the government of Dominica for that. And it demonstrates a clear recognition that the future of Dominican sport begins with strong financial support. Within my sport, athletics, clubs are the foundation upon which the sport is built. They are where young athletes first discover their abilities, where coaches dedicate countless hours to shaping talent, and where discipline, resilience, and ambition begin to take root. Henceforth, this subvention will allow us to strengthen grassroots athletics through enhanced club programs, improved talent identification efforts, and expanded development opportunities for youth athletes across Dominica. With strong support for these programs, we can create the environment necessary for athletes to progress steadily through the development pathways, improving participation, raising the standard of performance, and producing athletes capable of excelling at the regional level. Dominica has already shown what is possible when talent is nurtured and supported. The achievement of the likes of Addison James, Trennis Hamilton, Denny Kluck, and of course, Theo Laffergatson stand as a powerful reminder that athletes from our small island can compete and succeed on the global stage. Their journey inspires a generation of young athletes such as Omari Caesar, Kurel Etienne, Akisha Luke, and Jeriah Luce, all will be competing at this year's Character Games, who are now stepping onto the track with dreams just as big. Our responsibility now as associations is to ensure that the systems behind those dreams are strong. Systems led by committed clubs, empowered coaches, and programs that consistently identify and develop talent. The Dominica Athletics Association, and I'm assuming all the other associations, is fully committed to ensuring that these supports translates directly into greater opportunity for youth athletes and a clear pathway for development from the local level to the international stage. So, to the government of Dominica, we thank you for recognizing that investment in sports is ultimately an investment in the potential of our young people. And if we continue to invest, in our clubs, empower our coaches, and believe in our young athletes, I have no doubt that the next generation of Dominican champions is already warming up on the track. Thank you, and let this be the start of a transformative moment that fuels the growth, development, and future success of sports across our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Brandon Williams from the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association. Mr. Clement Masler, you are up next. You have got to the largest check, but you are following Mr. Williams. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I want to acknowledge the Honorable Minister for Finance, Dr. McIntyre. Doc, morning. Also Honorable Greta Roberts, Honorable Oscar George, CAPSEC, colleagues, friends, Mr. Shillingford, always a pleasure, media and those viewing. Today is a very good moment for us, and I want to start on a lighter note. While sitting next to Mr. Williams, and we heard the amounts, he said, boy, and I already in debt. No, I myself, I was telling him, boy, I will off. But, you know, just for context, there's one Windward Island country where the annual budget for cricket development from government is 1.5 million. And I'm smiling at 40,000 there. And in two ways. One, we will look at the cash amount, but they don't have cricket in their schools. They don't have the talent that we're endowed with. So no matter how much money you spend, you will always come up against a rock, which is Dominica, when it comes to cricket. And I really want to say we welcome the efforts. We hope that it will trickle in, because sometimes when it's flooding, we tend to make a mess. But when it comes in at the right time, like this one for us as cricket, we will definitely do what is required to not only put the country on the map or continue maintaining our position, but to really empower ambassadors for carrying the message of Dominica across. And that's what we have vowed to do with cricket, and we just really hope that it will continue. Mr. Fabian, we really want to thank you. Most times when I walk to his office and he looks at me, I say, remember, if that amount doesn't come, then you can't watch our cricketers out there. And also there was a very good point that the lights are going up into the stadium, and it should benefit our association the most. But my fervent prayer is that we are able to see more of our homegrown talent playing in front of us every time there's international cricket in the stadium. And that is a challenge, not only for the Cricket Association, but each and every Dominican. Ensure that if basketball is getting 20,000 and they're taking all our fast bowlers, then or tall fast bowlers, then you have to substitute a little more for us, right, Donny? And ensure that cricket remains as strong as it can be. I wish each and every association the best, and we pray that we continue to see success. Brandon, I know you're going out. I'll be rooting for the other association for sure, and ensuring we carry our flag with pride, and we continue to make our young people proud. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Masler, and let me just take this opportunity to thank all of you, the ministers who have joined us today, Honorable Dr. McIntyre, Minister of Finance, Honorable Greta Roberts, Honorable Oscar George, Mr. Fabian from the Dominican National Lotteries, and all of the presidents of the associations, the sports coordinator, and the members of the media who have joined us this morning. Thank you very much to you for spreading this message about the development of sports in Dominica. Just as a note to end, we will be continuing this session with a short discussion with the sporting organizations on the future of your sport and how the ministry can continue to provide support, non-financial support, because we've started the process of the financial support. So thank you very much again to everyone.